Welcome to Insights and Hindsight, where every week we delve into stories, mine and yours, to unwrap the wisdom hiding in our yesterdays. I'm your host, the ever-inspiring Dawn, and I'm here to motivate you to the best of my ability while coming from the understanding that perfection does not exist. Today we're going to dive into 5 signs that you lack self-love. This may be a difficult one for people to hear, however, it is necessary considering all the things that we are trying to accomplish to make ourselves better mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Self-love is the first thing that we need to tackle. A lot of the information that I'm pulling from is from psychology studies or psychological studies and some information posted by Black therapists. So I didn't just pull this information or all of the information from my own tutelage. I actually sought out some detailed information so that we can give you guys some facts. So let's dive right in. The first sign that we're going to talk about today is people who overanalyze themselves. Those who pick themselves apart, second guess decisions that they make, and just make themselves feel worse than they actually are. I can guarantee you that things that you pick yourself apart about are not valid. We are our worst enemy and our biggest critics, and we need to give ourselves some grace. Sometimes when we do this, it's actually considered what the professionals consider quote unquote normal. No one's perfect, so being able to acknowledge the things that are different about you or the things that may not be as appealing to you as they once were. I know having babies can change us, or going through a lot of stress can change us, or having weight fluctuate can change us, and it can, beat down the psyche and cause us to pick ourselves apart. If you do that every now and again, or it's circumstantial and it comes and it goes and it doesn't stick around, then they consider that to be normal. It's when it's done more often than not is when we should take a pause for self-reflection. Because being hyper analytical of your own self is a sign that you lack self-love. Sign number 2, you feel inferior. Those who always feel less than should take some time for inner reflection. If you wake up every day and you feel less than, if you're going to work and you don't speak up, or you don't volunteer, or you don't bring your best self because you feel less than, if you look at other people's relationships and wish that it was for you and you feel less than, if the man or woman that you're with makes you feel less than and you believe it, you need to change those scenarios. And the best way to change those scenarios is to start with inner reflection. So I would definitely suggest start by looking at yourself, telling yourself that you're amazing, believing that you are amazing, knowing that you are amazing. Sign number 3, you beat yourself up a lot. And we're not talking about, you're on there acting like you're in the movie Thin Line. Like, we're not holding our arm indoors and slamming it or putting grapefruits in socks and beating ourselves in the face. That was actually from the movie. I don't know anyone who did that in real life. That was in the movie. If you haven't seen it, it's The Thin Line Between Love and Hate with Martin Lawrence and Lynn Whitfield. It's an old school movie, but it was really good. Nonetheless, if you notice that you often feel like you are not enough, or you have a habit of thinking or referring to yourself in a negative way, then it's time to implement some self-reflection there as well. I know it sounds a little bit similar to the previous 2, being over-analytical and inferior, but they all coincide with each other. Normally, you don't have one without the others. So just start by taking inventory of your negative mindset. Start keeping a journal, writing things down so that you can recognize patterns and consistencies within your emotions. So that way, even if you don't acknowledge it or it's not in the forefront of your mind, maybe these things are happening subconsciously and you don't know why you feel bad. You don't know why you feel down. It could be something along those lines, something deep-seated and deep-rooted from childhood. We all have childhood issues. No one was perfect. Just take a moment to reflect. You owe it to yourself. Sign number 4, you don't honor your physical being. Now, this is not one of those conversations where we're going to talk about people who are thicker than a Snicker or my beautiful BBWs or whatever the case may be. I know a ton of people who are not what standard or society would consider small, skinny, or healthy, but I know a ton of women who are in the double digits as far as clothing size, and they're the healthiest people that I've ever met in my life. So we're not talking about them. Wanted to give that disclaimer before we got started. So you do not honor your physical being is another sign that you lack self-love. And I'm talking about, or the things that I found perusing the web, is for those who do overindulge, those who do have an addiction to food, an addiction to porn, an addiction to drugs, an addiction to any type of self-harm. Some people who even skip meals on a consistent basis would be considered a person who is not honoring their body. We only have one body through one life, and it's not a rerun. We only have one opportunity to live and make it great, depending on what you believe. Some people believe in reincarnation, and if that's true, hey, I'm down. Let me come back with the knowledge that I have now, and it'll be really good. Anyway, I digress. All of these habits that we have that may not be the healthiest, we should take the time to do a deep dive to see if there's something that we can change. Again, as I said in my previous video, if you look at yourself in the mirror and there are things that you don't like or things that you want to change them. Start a process. Start journaling. Write down your goals. Put sticky notes all over the place, like on Being Mary Jane in that TV show. Do whatever you need to do to remind yourself that you are amazing and you can get through this, and you will get through this, and you will reach your goals, and you can overcome all of the obstacles. All of them. As we should all know, if we're adults, anything done in excessive nature, anything done in abundance should be looked at. Life is all about balance. So if we're not balanced in any of the ways that are harmful to our bodies, let's take a deeper look into reflection. We're worth it. The last sign we're going to dive into today, sign number 5, would be you settle for less. If you're settling for less than what you know you deserve, or less than what you know that you can accomplish on your own, you need to stop it. Oftentimes we make excuses for other people to make ourselves feel better, or we keep things from other people to protect our own energy. We don't tell people things that we may want to tell them for fear of what they may say in return, or fear of retaliation, when in all actuality, fuck those people. We should be able to do and say what we want when we want it, as long as we're walking and talking and standing in truth and facts. So, to all my lovely women out there, let that man go, let that woman go, let that job go, let those family members go. Just because it's blood does not mean it's right. Let those raggedy ass friends go. I mean, start tomorrow, start today, make a plan, love yourself. Pour into yourself, find yourself, and most importantly, please, 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 heal yourself. I want to thank you for listening, and I hope that you continue to come along with the journey. If you know someone who can listen to this and benefit, please share. If you liked what you heard today, go ahead and comment, thumbs it up, and subscribe if you haven't. Until next time, I wish you nothing but blessings. Have a good day. Bye-bye.